Today we're going to be doing a few craft room projects as well as an updated tour of my craft room. This is the timestamp that you want to go to if you're not interested in the projects that I'm going to do first. If you're just here to look at a video and some pictures of my craft room, you can just go here in the video to this timestamp, to this time in the video, and then that's where that will be found. But let's get started with these crafts. For this one, I have this plaid photo holder here. It has a built-in Lazy Susan, so it spins. So I thought this would be great to put my paintbrushes in on my desk. It was about $9. I didn't think that was too bad. And you can put 4 photos in it. I removed the glass and I gave it a coat of this stain. It is Varathane gel stain. That is in my Amazon store, and the link to that is in the description box. I printed off these 4 prints. I got them printed at Walgreens. They were very cheap because these are 4x4 prints. That was the closest. The measurement on these, for these photo frames is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, and the closest that Walgreens had to that was 4x4, and so that's what I printed these prints as. And these are very old art of different ladies doing various crafty things. So I thought that was fitting for my craft room, and so I just got those printed. I cut them down to size and put them in this holder. I won't be using the lid, obviously, because I'll be putting my paintbrushes in here. My favorite one is the one of the lady who fell asleep, who was, doing something crafty, and when she was tired and she fell asleep there. This is just a quick reminder that if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. That way you don't miss any future videos. Okay, while I'm sitting at my desk, in front of me is my light switch. And this whole wall I've been working on decorating, and I thought, why not cover this ugly, cracked light switch? So I'm going to make a set of doors to cover them. I have these 2 canvases from the Dollar Tree. They are 6x8, I believe I showed you there. And I'm just going to remove the canvas and then connect these 2 with wood glue because I needed it to be a little bit deeper to fully cover the switches. You can get this crafting wood from Amazon and I'm sure any other crafting store. They came in a multi-pack of different sizes of this thin craft wood. And these 2 pieces here almost fit perfect for doors. I have these tiny hinges, and I'm just going to use my poker tool from the Dollar Tree to sort of make some starter holes here to put the screws in. I just attached these doors. Now the screw did go through this very thin wood, but I'm going to address that here soon. There was a gap once I closed the doors. I might have been able to finagle it to where it wouldn't have done that if I would have set them in closer, but it was okay that the gap was there. This is just another chance. Sometimes mistakes are a chance to make something more decorative. And so I'm adding these craft sticks, and I think that will look nice on the front of these doors to close that gap. To cover the screws that are sticking out, I'm just going to use this clay, this air dry clay, and make some little nail heads. I painted those with ivory. But then I did go back and paint them with toasted marshmallow. I didn't show that because the toasted marshmallow is pretty much the color of this raw wood, and I just wanted to have the same base coat there. For the doorknobs, I'm using 2 wood beads, and for the plate of the doorknob, I'm going to use 2 wooden biscuits. You can get these at any home improvement store in a big multi-pack for pretty cheap. I did fill the hole with a skewer stick in each of those wood beads to make it look a little bit nicer, and then I used wood glue to attach all that together. I used wood glue and hot glue to attach the doorknobs to the doors. I had someone ask where I got the labels for these squeeze bottles, and I just printed them off on plain copy paper. And then you can, with this one, with the Mod Podge one, I didn't do any antique wax on it, but with this one, I am going to use a little bit of antique wax and age up this label. You don't have to do this, or you could print it on different colored paper. And then once I get that done, I'm just going to cut this label off and attach it with some packing tape, and that works out really well. You'll still be able, it won't mess up the label when you squeeze the bottle. It's a squeeze bottle, and so this technique sort of works well to make a label for these squeeze bottles. I did accidentally put that label on that tape crooked, but it was okay. I had plenty of tape to be able to cut around and make it look more even. I used this gel stain on this door, and because it's gel stain, it went over those little fake nail heads nicely and gave them a little bit of a wood look. I think you can hardly tell that it is clay. I stained the inside as well so that it will look nice whenever I open it up. Now the doors were not sitting there evenly. One of the doors was more closed than the other, if that makes sense. And so to even that up, to bring that one forward, I just put this little coffee stir stick, this wooden coffee stir stick down there, and stain that as well, and that fixed that. And you can attach this several ways. You could just put a little nail up there, or use some of the, what are they called, where it's like a temporary Command. I think the Command brand. I don't know. It's temporary. This is not temporary. I'm using some Velcro strips, and so whenever I go to pull this off of here, that might not be so great. It might pull some paint up. But you could use Velcro strips like I did. I'm a little more adventurous in my craft room when it comes to putting things on the wall, because it's my craft room, and so I don't worry about things like that. Okay, I did look that up on Walmart.com, and they are called Command brand. They're by 3M, and they are damage-free hanging picture strips, picture hangers. And so it's just like double-sided tape sort of, and but it has like a clean release. Okay, y'all, I finally made an Amazon shop, or storefront, I'm not sure what they're called, but if you go to amazon.com/shop/craft-classy, there you can find lists of items that I use, different crafting supplies, different tools, and I also made for the home, like decor list as well there you can see. And that just has different stuff for the home, and sometimes it has like decor that you might have seen in my craft room as well. So I'll put the link to this shop in the description box, and anytime you wonder like, where did she get that paint? Where did she get that tool? It will be there in my Amazon shop. So this is what my craft room looks like when I craft for a few weeks in a row and don't do any cleaning. So total transparency here. It was a mess. Kind of looked like a bomb went off in here. And I was ready to get rid of that couch and to get that couch out of there. Long story, I won't go into that. But here is the before.
So happy we'll always sing if we remember one little thing. A little kiss each morning, a little kiss each night. Who cares if hard luck may be ahead? An empty cupboard, a crust of bread. A little kiss each morning, a little kiss each night. Dreams may disappoint us, as they often do. Bring your tears to me, dear, and I'll bring mine to you. Though hair so golden may turn to gray, I'll call you sweetheart the same old way. A little kiss each morning, a little kiss each night. So happy we'll always sing if we remember one little thing. A little kiss each morning, a little kiss each night. Who cares if hard luck may be ahead? An empty cupboard, a crust of bread. A little kiss each morning, a little kiss each night. Dreams may disappoint us, as they often do. Bring your tears to me, dear, and I'll bring mine to you. Though hair so golden may turn to gray, I'll call you sweetheart the same old way. A little kiss each morning, a little kiss each night.
Okay, now I'm going to go into sort of excruciating detail. And so if that's something you don't like, you might just want to stop the video here, but I'm going to talk about some things, talk about the little things, go through, open up the drawers and all that. So I'm going to try to do that, but still not make the video too awful long. And I'll try to not go over anything that I have already went over in other crafting videos. I don't know if my memory will, serve me, but I'll give this a try. Here at my crafting desk, I absolutely recommend, I do not regret getting this old beat up desk. and using it as my crafting table. If I had got a, you know, like $500 crafting desk from somewhere, I would just cringe every time I crafted, because this desk, it just gets a little more destroyed like with every craft. Every time I use it, you know, it's death by 1,000 cuts for this table here, for this desk. And if I had bought a really nice table, it would just make me sad. It would be depressing that every time, you know, it's something little. It might be a paint splatter. It might be my knife, you know, cuts the table, or some adhesive I couldn't get off, or something like that. But it's always, you know, a little bit of something happens to this desk every time I craft. And so I mean, it's nice to not be able to have to worry about it. You know, I got this desk for free, and I don't have to worry. It's already in rough shape, so I don't have to worry about it. I can get paint on it, or glue on it, or, you know, cut it, or anything, and not freak out whenever that happens. Here at the desk, I just keep what I use the most on hand, and that does change, you know, sometimes. But I keep paper towels here. I keep, you know, the glues that I use the most, but I do have some more in the drawer down here that I have quick access to. I have, you know, my most used paints, my Mod Podge and stain over here in this bottle. How I got this idea, I believe, the first time from Joanna's DIY Life. I'll put a screenshot up of her channel. She was the one that used one of these Pioneer Woman bottles. I'd never seen anybody use that before. I'd seen people use the sort of generic clear, like condiment bottles, the ketchup and mustard bottles. But I saw that, and I saw it at my Walmart, and I didn't know she got it from Walmart, but I saw it at Walmart. I was like, that's the one that Joanna uses. And so I got it, and then recently they came out with this one, and so I bought that. But I have some other squeeze bottles that I want to buy. I found them online, but they're a little bit pricey. And these were very affordable. The Pioneer Woman ones were. But anyways, I'm starting to ramble already. And I just keep, of course, I've went over my brush washing station before. I want to find one. I think I have found one with a deeper reservoir. It's just not quite deep enough, so it's not getting the brushes as clean as I think they could get. So I have another one that I found online that I might buy, and if I do, I'll let you guys know how it works out. But of course, just brushes, markers, and like paint stirrers in a tin can. They're things that I can mix up paint with. And I mean, there'll be some times where there's something just stuck somewhere that doesn't belong. So there's a little bit of organization in here, but not a crazy amount of organization. Okay, up in this cabinet is paint. I'll try not to move too fast. I'm not a videographer, so it's not gonna be perfect, guys. But I just keep the paints that I use the most up here and here. This is new since the last video, but not really worth talking about. I made this little paint holder here. There was, if you remember, a Mary Poppins quote piece of art there. I moved that to the other side of the room. But this I just made out of a paint stir stick, a ruler, and you know how rulers have holes in them to go into your 3-ring binder. I just used a monkey hook to hang it. The floor of the shelf is tumbling tower blocks, and so I just used wood glue, hot glue, and I hung it using those holes that were already in the ruler with these monkey hooks. I'm sure you've heard of monkey hooks before. Most everything in this room on the walls is hung up by those. I love those things. But this cabinet, it has a glass front, but I hung this little picture here on it. I thought, well, if I can hide the bottles of paint, I should go ahead and do that. And that just has paint and a couple of miscellaneous items. On top of it is some more craft supplies. And on top of that is this little cabinet here. It has some acetone, some Goo Gone, some Epsom salt, and another bottle of water. Over here's this little shelf. Here I keep small crafting supplies. Pretty sure I went over this last time. I don't know, maybe I didn't, but I think I did. This cassette tape holder, I know I went over it last time, but I still use it. Some things I changed out, some things I don't, you know, I didn't like or whatever. You know, you live with it for a while, you live with something for a while. And then if you like it, you keep it. And if you find out after using it that you don't like it, you change it up. Or that it doesn't work for you. Hold on, I'm gonna have to take a drink real quick, sorry. Okay, here in the drawer, I have just the tools that I use the most. And I did find that these bread pans from the Dollar Tree, they work really well to hold tools. They're a good length for tools. You can see that I've got full-size needle nose pliers, excuse me, in there, and my mini hammers and some other tools, and they fit in there. And full-size tools do fit in there as well in them. Oh, sorry about that noise. But you can see here's a full-size screwdriver, and so it does fit in there. And so these have worked out really well, and really for $1 each, $1.25 each, isn't too bad. Okay, I've also got these aluminum, I guess they are, little disposable bread pans from Dollar Tree as well. And you can see I've got quite a few sanding blocks there. You would think that I would use up a sanding block completely and then open a new one and just have a couple of sanding blocks. But no, I had just opened up that many, and they're in various states of being used, various states of wear and tear, and so they've all got some life left in them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.15 sanding blocks here. And then my clamps, that is not a big enough container for my clamps. I've got more clamps than that. I need to get a bigger bread pan, I guess, for it. And just, you know, some other crafting supplies that I use on a regular basis. Not super organized, but, you know, organized enough. Now down here is even less organized, but it works for me. It's just a pile of stuff. These are tools mostly. I keep my rolls of paper. I put paper on the desk whenever I am crafting. I'll even buy, you can buy packaging paper this length at Walmart and online. And so it's the perfect sort of width to fit on top of a work surface to protect it while you're painting or, you know, doing whatever. And this is a roll of gift wrap from the Dollar Tree, and then my husband took his saw and just cut the wrapping paper into thirds, and so that made me 3 rolls, and I use that as well. I've got, this usually stays on my desk. This is a silicone air fryer basket. I don't have an air fryer, but that keeps this glue gun in it because this glue gun doesn't have a stand, and so I just like to throw it over in there. I think if I had a fancy stand, I wouldn't take the time to place it in the stand. I'd probably just lay it down somewhere. I know myself. So I thought this would be a good solution. Just keep it on my desk and throw that glue gun over there while I'm using it. I did get this new glue gun, this detail glue gun. Finally got a detail glue gun. I found it at Goodwill. It was still in the package. It was $4 and some odd cents. I looked up online and they are $7 and some odd cents online. So, you know, a few dollars savings there, but I grabbed it up. And I love that I have a detailed glue gun now, because sometimes you just need a little bit of glue. And with this glue gun, it's like, okay, I only need a little bit of glue. I'm gonna pull the trigger nice and slow. And it's like, no glue, no glue, no glue. Oh my goodness, that's so much hot glue. Like, that's how it goes. Every time I try to use a little bit of hot glue with that glue gun, it's made for a whole lot of glue, not a little bit of glue. But I just have my tools that let's use this as my pointer instead of my finger. All the tools that I use on a regular basis. And then below is a glue drawer, but there are a couple of tools that snuck in here. But the majority of my glue sticks are in here. I keep, some glue sticks right at hand, right next to my lap here at the desk. Right there, so I can grab them real quick, but I keep the bulk of them in here and other glues as well. Oh goodness, sorry if those noises are loud. Okay, I'm spinning around too fast. I'm telling y'all, I'm not good at this. Not good at the talking thing either. Although I am doing a lot of it. I think I went over this last time. This just has, it did have all metal and all wood. That still has all wood, crafting supplies. And then these two have metal, but this one, because it's so close to my workstation here, now I keep crafting, crafting items in here, like this is just garbage, like pieces of paper, paper plates, just things that are, things that are paper that I can paint on, use as paint palettes. And so I keep that there. I keep like a stack of these in here. You probably have seen these several times in my videos. I do my church newsletter, and every newsletter, it's a long story, but every newsletter has a piece of paper that gets cut off of it. And so I reuse those in my crafting to place things on it, to paint them. And then also as paint palette as well. And then of course wipes, cups to mix things in, stuff like that. And so I put that there. And so now these two are just metal. I don't know if you want to see any of these. Metal, an MDF. I've had that truck forever. I've years and years. I should just get rid of it. I don't know. You keep things and you think, oh, I'll use it one day, and then you don't. Just wood items, not organized, just in piles. I do my photography there for the items that I make, and I want to make a new background. I'm sure y'all love my hand, just giant hand coming into frame. I'm awesome at this. These are all the florals that I have. I got rid of a bunch of florals, and I no longer have many florals at all. I really like dried florals. They're pretty expensive though, so I only have a few of those. They were over by that cassette tape holder. I have to remember to breathe. I haven't done this much talking in a long time. I think I went over this before. I keep my Dollar Tree signs in that crate standing up there. Let's see. I do keep some spindles up there. I don't know if that's new. I can't remember what was in my last video. I don't know. What is that for? I mean, it's a thing that hangs on the back of the door, but why all those hooks? What do you put on there? Is that for gift wrap? I don't know what that's for, but I put spindles on it. I wish it went all the way down the door. That'd be so nice if I could put that many spindles on it. Here's my magnets. I keep a drawer of magnets. I think I've went over that before. A drawer for magnets is not great though. Look, they can't keep their hands off each other. It's very aggravating when I have to go get a magnet. I need a sheet of metal somewhere that I can just place the magnets on it. Like individually, I can see the magnets, and they won't all be stuck together in a drawer. I did have my hutch right here on this wall. I moved it across the room, and I put one of these chairs. I have two of these chairs, and I put one in here. Those are from a video, so I won't go over that. I have my frames over here. That was the same container that I put frames in before, but I just moved them. I know, I was like, where's the frames? They're hiding underneath this. It doesn't have a home. I use that to just do messy crafting in. And easels, they don't have a home either. Behind here, I've got a stool turned upside down, and it just has my tall items in there, my tall skewer sticks, dowels, a couple of rolls of paper. There's one PVC pipe, that makes sense. And containers in here, just like buckets and boxes, things to craft with. I took my pegboard down, and now the hutch is over on that wall. And so now I needed a home for my stickers and rub-on transfers. And this system, though not as good as the pegboard. Still works. I can just flip through them. This is like an office organizer. So that's working out well. This, I think I went over a lot of this before. Obviously this is a door. I still haven't gotten a curtain for it. It's still a blanket for a curtain. The sewing table is new. It's a sewing machine in there, but I'll be keeping it put away. It doesn't work. The sewing machine doesn't. We need to fix it. I bought this from a family friend for $25. I really like it, and I hope that we can get the sewing machine working on it one day. But for now, I'm going to use it as a table, and my plan for it is to be a Cricut table, a table to put my Cricut on one day if I can justify buying it. I'm kind of cheap if y'all don't know that yet, and I really, for something that costs that much, I've got to really justify buying it. I don't do a lot of word signs. If y'all been watching my channel long, I don't put words on that many things, but I'd like to be able to if I wanted to. If I wanted to, you know, put a Bible verse on something or a quote from a book, that would be nice to be able to do that, because really a Cricut's the best way to do that. And some of y'all have Cricuts. Y'all might want to see, you know, what I can do with it. I would love to be able to make stencils. I'm not super crazy about the way vinyl looks on things, because to me it looks like plastic, because it is plastic. But to be able to make your own stencils would be awesome. So it would just open up a bunch of options for crafting. And I know some of y'all do have a Cricut, but if I ever did get a Cricut, I would not go Cricut heavy on my channel. I would just throw in a Cricut craft occasionally, because I don't like to do things that y'all, wouldn't be able to recreate. I want to make it, I don't know what the word would be. I guess it'd be inclusive. But I have some more little jars from the Dollar Tree over there that keeps small crafting items in them. I'll put right here, I'll put a video of the sewing machine to show this sewing machine right here. Up here, I'll put in what I did here. This is a paper towel holder mounted to the wall. Paper towel holder from Dollar Tree, that's all that is. And I put my wreaths on it. So I'll put a little clip of that here. And then I won't go through all of this in this hutch, because I'm pretty sure I did last time. I mean, I can open it up and let y'all see in there, but it's nothing too amazing. I do still like the tension rods for the ribbons. Works out well. It's a little bit messy in here, but not too bad. And I like that the hutch is closer now. The craft supplies are closer. Up there is the same. I'm pretty sure I went over that with y'all before. I mean, it's obvious what everything is anyway. But you will see some Christmas decor and some, other out of place decor here and there. But when it's your craft room, you wouldn't keep out Christmas decor year round in your home and the rest of your house, but when it's your craft room, you can do what you want. So I got some Christmas decor in here. I usually just do maybe one craft room video a year, or that was my plan anyway. But it is approaching July. It's approaching the last half of the year, and that is our busiest season, we're fixing to go through the gauntlet. We gotta prepare for the fall Halloween Christmas crafts that will be here before you guys know it. I know we're in the middle of summer, we're enjoying our summer, but I've still got to prepare. So I thought I'll organize my craft room, change some things up, move some furniture around. I'm pretty sure I went over all these in the last video, but just various craft supplies. Jewelry making, I don't make jewelry, but I use them. Paper scraps, paper project stuff. Full sheets of scrapbook paper in there and paper packs in there. And just various things, lights, wire, wood cutouts, small embellishments, my decorative scissors, stamps and stencils. Just different little Dollar Tree tubs, most of them. And down there is my glassware in those boxes. These are little tiny wood scraps, little cuttings from different projects that I keep. There is all my jute, well not jute, but twine, all the different types of twine in there. Over here, this is miscellaneous. And then the rest of these are wood. All three of these are just wood items that I craft with. But I think that's about it. Let's see, anything else I missed? I wish y'all could talk to me and be like, you missed this. I think that's all. I want to put some shelves up there. Maybe a shelving unit with a few shelves on it that not too shallow, because I already have shallow shelving. I need some deeper shelving. I want like a 12-inch deep shelf up there, just on that entire length right there. I've almost got my my busy wall filled up almost there. I liked that countdown house so much that I hung it up there. But I don't think that I will do any of the other walls like this. That might be overwhelming, a little too busy. So I'll just keep one busy wall. I do still use my iPad holder, my iPad frame there to watch crafters while I'm crafting and to listen to music on it and stuff like that. But I think that's it for this one. I think I'll let, voiceover Carolyn take over from here. If you guys ever have any questions, just drop those down in the comments and I will get back to you on those. But that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you have a wonderful day. See you in the next one.